I'm tired of getting in my old car with this old radio with these buttons staring at me. We're gonna fix that today with this Apple CarPlay touchscreen stereo from Eonon. In this box is the Eonon M3BLA12S. And alongside it, we also have the A0215 backup camera and the A100 dash cam. We're going to be fitting my 2011 MazdaSpeed 3 with this Eonon combo and getting rid of this old disgusting screen. Now this specific stereo will work for 2010 to 2013 MazdaSpeed 3s as well as the 2010 to 2013 Mazda 3. If you have the 2004 to 2009 Mazda 3, I'll leave a video up in the top right for you guys to check out. And last but not least, if you like what you see today and want to get this for yourself, I have a discount code for you. CR10, I'll leave it in the link in the description. It'll give you a little bit off your Eonon order. The M3BLA12 is the top model that you can get for this generation of the Mazda 3. This is a genuine Android 13 unit. If you guys know anything about the Android 13 units, these babies are powerful. This thing has an 8-core CPU processor with 6 gigabytes of RAM to ensure that while performance is not going to be slowed down at all, and you can multitask if you want. It also comes with 64 gigabytes of space to ensure you have enough storage for, well, whatever you guys want to do. This is the screen itself. Included in the packaging, you guys are going to get a bundle of wires. This would be our little dash cam here. The A100 is a 720p dash cam that we plug directly into our Eonon and get straight on screen footage. Here we have our backup camera, which when you put your car into reverse, you will have backup feed. Super plug and play, easy. I'll show you guys how to install this as well. Screen is a 9-inch QLED display. Oh, hi. With that being said, let's take our little skinny, beautiful screen and install it into the MazdaSpeed 3. Everything that you need to know about this once we put it in. Here we're inside the car, and first things first, you're gonna need a trim popping tool. We need to pop this top half off. Get our trim popping tool in here, and we just want to pry up along the bottom of this panel. We can go ahead, just pull it up and disconnect it, and just flip it over just like that. Up top here, 1, 2, Phillips screwdriver. Now you're gonna need a little bit of force here. You wanna grab the back of the radio. We need to pull this basically directly straight out. Just give it a good few tugs and you're good to go. There's gonna be some plugs and stuff back there as well. You're gonna need to take all those out. And once you've unplugged everything, keep it around as a spare, whatever you please to do. This unit doesn't have bows, but nonetheless, all this wiring that Eonon supplies you will be able to connect to your Bose system no problem. USB adapters, a microphone unit for your Bluetooth, what is your main harness, GPS unit, and more USB plug-in. I cannot stress this part enough. When we're plugging everything in, you seriously need to plug everything in, even if you don't think it goes anywhere. Lots of common issues of people not having their steering wheel controls because they're not plugging in all the plugs. Plug in all the plugs, follow along, and everything should work. For starters, your radio unit in the Gen 2s is by this plug. Now we can go ahead and take our main harness. You'll have many different audio setups. For example, your mic port, your subwoofer out, your video input, for example, for your backup camera, which we will be doing. You're gonna have this other wire right here. Make sure to plug this in as well. Now we can start plugging things into our Eonon deck. Take a note of how everything is. Your radio is going to plug into here. You have your 4G and your GPS ports. You have a bunch of ports up here and then your main port. We can then plug in our main harness. Make sure these go in all the way. Then we're gonna have all our little ports that we need to plug in. Please plug in all of the ones that you have. And now that you have all the main stuff plugged in, if we go ahead and turn on the car, your Eonon will power up and you can test all the audio and everything to make sure everything works. We are going to go ahead and get started with installing our backup camera, which means taking the rear bumper off the car and running a few wires to different spots. Let's get started with that. Unfortunately, for a clean install, we need to take out both sides, including this plastic panel. Pin over here, and we just should be able to just pull up on this, take that out. Take a flathead to the side and pop them up. Up here, Phillips screwdriver. On this side, you won't be able to see it. There's also a pin. Should be able to pop that out. Just need to be able to get access this pin underneath. Two 10mm bolts in these hooks. We can pop this out of the way. Now we have lots of room to work with. In back here is where we have to wire our reverse power signal. Now to get the rear bumper off, you're gonna need to take the taillights out. There are 3 10mm screws in behind the taillights you need to remove. Grab the corner relay, you need to pretty much pull this out. It's just a sliding pin on the corner. Then on both sides, go ahead, remove that, this, and remove this. Inside the rear of your bumper, there's a screw right there, an 8mm we're gonna take out, and then up here, right here, is a little plastic screw we need to take out. Now once you've done both sides, you're gonna wanna go underneath the car, right here, and over there, there's gonna be these 10mm bolts you just need to remove. Now here is the complete wiring for your Eonon backup camera. Positioned it to have it face right under the bumper. Your wiring will come out from behind the bumper, which then it will meet these cables. You have 2 harnesses, one that's already connected to the backup camera and the extra one in the bagging. I've looped it around the bash bar. Then we've come along to the side of the car, or inside. You can see I've taken a grommet out temporarily to run the wires through. As we come up here, this is for the MazdaSpeed 3s in this harness. This is where this is important. There's a black cable, which will be your negative. That's easiest. Connect those 2. Your power is the faded yellow wire where my red wire is going to. It's like that cream that you guys can see in that back there. Now to run the wire to the radio, and we run the wire all the way down here. It will continue, again, continuing along here. From down here, which then you can see right here, this red wire you do not need to connect. Mazda has the reverse signal already wired into their harness, so when this plugs in, it already detects it. There are different yellow ones for cameras. Make sure it's backup camera. And now when you put it into reverse, your backup camera will show up. Now to install your Eonon dash cam, all you need to do is find a place to mount it on your windshield. You're gonna wanna run all of this wiring all the way along the roof. At this point, you will pop down the A-pillar. Just pop it out of the way slightly so you can run the wiring down the A-pillar. You will then run your wiring underneath the glove box into the direction of the radio, which then you will finally plug in one of your USB dongles. Go ahead and plug in your dash cam to that USB dongle. Now, when you turn on your Eonon radio, go over to APK, installer, install USB 1 memory. You're gonna see this UCart DVR app. Go ahead and download this. And now you can control your dash cam all on your Eonon stereo. Now, since everything is installed into the back of our Eonon, we made sure everything was plugged in. Even the things that didn't even look like they needed to be plugged in are plugged in. We can go ahead and stuff everything into the back. There's lots of room for everything to sit. We can go ahead and then just give it a good push. Now we can go ahead and take this. And same thing, you guys are just gonna make sure you push it in, slides into place. Now we can go ahead and start playing with it. Now there's gonna be a few questions as you guys turn on your car. What's the screen gonna say? All of this is gonna function. All that is gonna say is other because you no longer have your interface connected to this. However, your fan controls and everything still work as normal. Well, what about steering wheel controls? As you guys can see, steering wheel controls will still function normally. Like I said, we also installed the backup camera. If I go ahead and put it into reverse, our backup camera comes on automatically. Now, let's go ahead and play with the features. So when you turn on your Eonon, this is the home screen that you're greeted with. You can change the theme if you'd like by going into your theme tab. It comes with a few installed themes that you can change to. You're gonna notice a few startups like your navigation, which would be Google Maps. This is something that you would use your GPS module for. You're gonna have your radio tab. You're gonna have your music tab, which is gonna be like download music to this hardware. Video tab, of course, again, if you have a USB drive connected to this and you wanna watch something. As we move into the full app surface, obviously you have your Bluetooth, which if you don't plan on using Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, that is what you would use. Moving into other Android apps like Android Auto, you have your CarPlay app right here. What I really like about the Eonon is the custom amplifier. You have a lot of settings to change in here. A lot. It gives you really in-depth audio tuning. Really utilize your speakers, whether this is Bose or whatever you have. Again, other features you have on here are like Chrome browsing, you have your Gmail and your Google for whatever reason you would want to use that in here. You have the opportunity to use mirroring and your OBD monitor, which you can also buy from Eonon, so you can see all your car statistics through your Eonon as well. Now that we've kind of fiddled around with everything, how fast is this unit? Well, with the 8-core processor and the 6 GB of RAM that we were talking about earlier, as you could expect, it moves pretty quick through its menus. And while from previous experience with the Eonon, normally the Android menus move pretty quick and are quite responsive. I mean, with my fingers and everything, these are moving quite good. But the real test was in Apple CarPlay. As you guys can see here, it loads up pretty quick and we're ready to go. Sifting through the menus is all right. Go in here, touch a few things. It is quite responsive to touch and just moving in general, which is good to see. But it looks like it's corresponding pretty good with touch and just movement in general. So there is just a slight delay. It's nothing that I'm gonna scream about. Even just pressing the search button, going right into the search. I mean, this normally takes a while on the slower units, and I mean, we're just going crazy right now. So this is really, really good to see. And with that being said, that's my full test of the Eonon. Now the real test is just using this thing and seeing how it works over daily use. But from what I have right now and how it responds, I'm very impressed. Having a stereo that works with your steering wheel controls, pretty much connects to your phone, it just retains functionality, but just looks brand new. Just makes this whole experience look better. Even just turning on the car's lights, your screen will dim and you'll also get the LEDs on the side. I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope it helped you install or even pick out your own Eonon. If it did, make sure to hit that subscribe button for more MazdaSpeed Mazda 3 content, and comment down below if you guys have an Eonon yourself and what your experience is with them. If you guys need any help or anything with your Eonon product, make sure to contact Eonon themselves so you can get the help that you need. Other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. Keep it real. I'll see y'all in the next one.